What are we playing this week then, Rich?
So this week I thought we'd attempt to complete and review Crackdown for the Atari ST. So this is a run and gun game. It's an arcade port. The arcade game was originally made by Sega, I think in 1989. So this game was ported to the Atari ST in 1990, around January or February. Have you got any experience with the game at all?
I think we've tried it before, haven't we?
Yeah, we actually tried to complete this game once before, and that's the reason why we've now got 2 copies of the game. Because this one, the original copy, always crashed on the penultimate level for some reason. It's a bit suspicious actually. So, but we'll get more into that later on. So, do you want to get to it then?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So, do you remember the game very well then?
Ish.
Yeah.
Ish, kind of. I'm sure I'll get back into it.
Yeah, they've done quite a good job porting this actually, especially by Atari ST standards. We've got like the intro in here and such.
Mm-hmm.
This is a sort of the first thing to go a lot of the time, isn't it, with these ports?
Normally.
You got to press start. Right, so actually another thing, if you press C on this, it changes the way that the camera moves, so it follows you if you press C. Other than that, it sort of goes ahead of you.
Press C for me.
It will be doing it for both of us.
Oh, okay, cool. Leave it like that.
So the point of the game is to sort of explore and look for the sort of bomb points. As you can see, Chris just put a bomb down on one of them there. You get to move around independently because of these the sort of split screen. It's quite cool.
Didn't even see it.
Quite cool for the time, really. Oh, I don't think we can kill each other.
Oh,
Try and
you.
shoot me.
Oh shit, it's you. I hope we can't. Oh, God.
Now, it says up the top that we've got 6 lives, but that's actually not correct. It doesn't display all the lives, so we've got 9 lives per continue.
Yeah.
In case people at home are thinking we're cheating or something when our lives don't go down. But yeah, so you just got to leave now.
Yeah. I've got to find the exit.
When you get
Where
too
is it?
close to the enemies, you sort of do a punching action. It's just to the right. You can collect weapons and bombs, extra smart bombs. The smart bombs are used by pressing this for me, and I think caps lock for Chris.
Oh jeez. I've got 2 buttons here. Let me use them. I wish that minimap was bigger. I can't make out where I am on that minimap at all.
If we had better, because we're using RF
Oh yeah,
at the
you can
moment.
dodge the bullets as well if you come up against the wall,
Yeah,
can't
you can shimmy across them, and you can come out of cover by pressing the button as well, which that didn't actually happen in the original arcade game. So that's sort of added to this version. Yeah, the thing is as well with the map, we're using RF, so it's quite blurry. Oh blast! Not playing too well here. But if we had better cables and a monitor, then obviously it'd be clearer and easier to sort of
Sharper.
the steer would be sharper.
He spawned and shot at the same time.
One of the other things, sort of slightly stealth behaviour in this can help a little bit as well. So this enemy here, you can lead him out and then punch him as he comes around the corner, and then shoot this dude here.
That's risky.
And a lot of the time, it's actually less risky to do that. And sometimes you have to do it because some of the enemies can't be shot; they have to be punched sometimes.
Just kicks him in the face. Yeah. I kicked him. I got him.
Got him in the end.
I punched him. Come on. I'm too far away for the punch to connect, but I'm too close for me to shoot a bullet. I'm 2 lives left.
We got 3 continues each. Remember?
Yeah, but I'm going to use one before like the first.
Oh, I was trying to dodge your bullets there.
Oh jeez. Oh, did somebody get an extra life there? I heard some kind of noise.
Yeah, one of us got extra life.
It weren't me.
When you see them sort of closing in on you, it's best to just run in and diagonally punch them because they can't fire diagonally.
Right.
So if you're stuck with them around you, stay diagonal to them and try and punch diagonally.
Okay.
Yeah, about earlier with the 2 different versions, that's me. You can't kill me anyway, can you?
No.
The lead him out, punch, and then just punch him.
Yeah.
And I think there's a bad guy behind him.
Yeah.
I got a suspicion that the budget version of the game is just broken. So I think all of the copies crash on the penultimate level, but I'm not 100% sure. But what I do know is that all of the Amiga versions are broken. Like literally every release of Crackdown on the Amiga is broken. And they always crash on the penultimate level. They tried to fit it on one disc. And they broke it because they tried to compact it onto one disc basically.
Yeah.
And given that the Atari ST version of the budget release is one disc as well, that makes me think that it's broken in the same way.
Ah! No! Stop it! Kick him in the face! Yes.
This is going to be a very damaging level for you.
I'm last life, so maybe. Oh shit! Oh dang it! Continue. Can you get this bomb? All opened up in front of me.
Yeah, so the original arcade game, this was actually designed by some of the same people that worked on Shinobi. So the main designer and the musician, which was Yuzo Koshiro, sort of famous composer. Mm-hmm. They both worked on this. And the music is quite cool actually, I think. Oh, blast! Lucky they give you a lot of lives in this version.
I'm trying to stay diagonal to everything now.
To be fair, you are helping me quite a bit on this level, I think, because you're just throwing yourself at cannon fodder at the enemies. You're just sort of clearing the way for me to an extent.
It's so useful. Did you get all of them? Yeah. Nice! Yes, I'm invincible! I'm invincible! Oh, I didn't dodge it. I'm game over. Have I used up all the continues? No. You haven't used a continue?
No, we get our own continues.
So you've got still 3 continues then?
Yeah.
Well, you're fine then.
Should be.
I thought it was joint continues.
Yeah. Ugh, blast! I hate the flamethrower dudes. I've always hated them. Fucking bastards. Ha! Screw you. Kill each other. Dickheads. Someone's coming this way. Ah! This one is actually quite strapped for time from what I can remember. I haven't got the one at the bottom, have I, either?
No. And then you've got another 2, 3 after that, and you only got a minute. You are going to have to really go quick.
I'm going to die, aren't I?
25 seconds. You've got one at the top now, I think, and that's it.
I had to rush that bit.
You might get this. It's going to be close. No, down, down, down. In there.
At least I've got all of the damn things.
10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Whoa! That was tight. So this is the level it normally crashes on.
It usually crashes on that one or this one. Kick them as soon as they appear.
Yeah. That's what I do with my kids.
I never understood this bit. Well, fuck it, I'll just run across now. I have done it before, but it seems like the timing is horrible on it.
I think that's it. Yep.
Right. Last level, I think, isn't it?
I think so. I've never seen this level before.
Nah. Well, I didn't see it until I bought this copy of it.
Ironically, this sounds like it's got the best music in the whole game.
I quite like a lot of the music. I think, obviously, it's cycling through it though, isn't it? So I guess it gets a bit old after a while.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it sounds great, but all of it sounds great, but this just sounds better.
I don't think they kill you if you're directly in the middle.
Oh, wow.
This bit is a pain in the arse. Fuck that. I don't know the way it's supposed to be done. But this is the only way I know.
What, you're going to walk over, shoot one shot, walk back?
You can shoot twice, sometimes 3 times.
Can't you shoot from here and then follow it across?
You might be right, actually. I'll do it in a second.
Because you say you can shoot people off screen, so that should be enough. Shoot once more. You idiot!
That's unfortunate because I'm going to have to keep that in the video, I think.
Yes! Brilliant.
It's sort of like a bossish fight, but not so much, you know. You're going after this guy, basically.
This guy in here.
And it's done.
Yeah,
Now escape.
You assassinated him.
And that's it. One disappointing thing about the game is the ending, which is basically just this, and it counts the points up. So they did cheap out in one area, unfortunately. I think I would rather had an ending than an intro.
Yeah. Okay, Rich, what do you think of the game then?
I think this is quite a solid action game, especially for the Atari ST. I think this is one of the better arcade ports to the system. It has most of the gameplay mechanics translated fairly faithfully, I'd say. On top of that, the scrolling isn't bad for the Atari ST. It's for the Mega Drive, that scrolling is somewhat choppy, isn't it? But for the Atari ST, it's reasonable. You know, it's not like juddering around or anything. It's just a little bit low frame rate, the scrolling, but it's not bad. But yeah, the gameplay is pretty much all there. Like, we got the intro as well there. You got the music quite faithfully reproduced as well. It's quite good quality music, I'd say. The original arcade game had great music, and because the sound chip in the Atari ST isn't really that great for the 16-bit era, so it's done quite a good job with that as well, I would say. In regards to the Mega Drive port, the Mega Drive version is better than this. It's more zoomed out, it's smoother. But Mega Drive version came out quite a bit later, especially in the West, close to 2 years later in Britain, I think. Even in, you know, comparing the Japanese Mega Drive version to the British Atari ST version, there's close to a year difference there. So you can give it a little bit of leeway there, really. The game itself, I quite like the split screen action, where we can plan out routes and such, you know. That's quite cool for the element of, you can go, right, I take this bomb, you deal with that bomb, you know, and you can do the most sort of efficient way of doing a level that way. So that's cool, the way that you can split up and go about your own business. Not seen in a lot of these types of top-down run-and-gun games at the time. Most of the time you're sort of stuck on the same screen. Weaponry, not amazing, is it, really? You've just got a weapon that's like a rocket launcher, really, isn't it? And you can shoot enemies off screen with that one and a normal sort of gun. So sort of bare minimum weaponry wise. Not really any boss fights at all in the game. Sort of a bit of a shame. There's the ending dude, but he's just sort of a weak scientist, really, isn't he? What do you reckon then?
No, I liked it. As a whole, the game is good fun to play. They give you enough lives as well to be able to get through the game, because it can be tricky at sometimes, especially that distancing with the punching. It's a mechanic that I'm not overly keen on. I mean, thematically it doesn't make sense. If you've got a machine gun, you're not going to not stand next to them and, oh, I'm this far away from you, so I'm going to put my gun away and punch you in the face. No, you're just going to shoot them. So thematically not really great, but that doesn't really matter. I quite like the stealth elements, as you said, where you lead people out and punch them and such like that. And I'm sure if I did get the distancing correct, I would enjoy it a lot more.
I somewhat agree with you there. I think it's inaccessible, the distancing. It's a bit unnecessarily sort of fiddly, isn't it? But it is something that you get used to over time. You sort of get in your mind that you need to close a gap by a certain level to sort of punch someone. But yeah, it is fiddly. Yeah,
that's a bit tricky. Music's great, as we already said, done by the guy who done Shinobi, so you can't really complain there.
Yeah.
Guy's beloved by all.
And Streets of Rage, obviously.
Streets of Rage, yeah.
Classic 16-bit soundtrack.
And yeah, absolutely fantastic. I do think that there is room for strategy as well, where you can take your own separate routes, but I don't think it's necessary, because as we saw, we did get the job done in the end. It wasn't a problem. It's not a necessary element, but it would add to the whole experience if you were able to do that. Maybe go for a high score with the time, because you get more points for more time that's left.
You try to do it without using a continue up or whatever.
That as well. So yeah, there's definitely room for strategy and an element for working together and getting the job done, which is quite cool. So what are you going to score it then?
Well, this version, I feel like it's probably a bit weaker than the Mega Drive version. And to be honest, it's not like the Mega Drive version is sort of one of the most beloved Mega Drive games itself. It's a fairly light game, But on the other side, like we've said, this came out quite a bit earlier. It's probably quite impressive for early 1990.
Oh yeah.
And I like the game. It's not without its flaws, but I think it is a good game. It's one of the better arcade ports to the Atari ST. So I'm going to give the game a high 3 out of 5, I'd say. What do you reckon then? What are you going to give it?
Yeah, I concur on that. I think a good 3 out of 5 is a relatively reasonable score. I think it's got its issues, as we said before, but it's quite a good game to stick on and have a little bit of fun with over an hour or so, wouldn't you say?
It's nice to have a good 2-player game.
That too, as well. Yeah. 2-player games are always our bag, as we've always said on this channel. We do love our 2-player games. So, yeah, a good high 3 out of 5 for me as well. Okay, guys, that's Crackdown for this week. An actually excellent game.
Yeah, it's good finally getting it done, actually, after all this time.
Yeah, well, if I'd known that we couldn't actually complete the game, I would have been a little bit less stressed about it the last time we tried it. But, you know, that's the way things go. Anyway, guys, if you liked it, please give us a like. Subscribe to the channel and comment and tell us what you think about the game. And we'll see you next week on another game, guys. Take care.
See ya.
I envisaged that giving us more trouble than it did. Oh.
I've played that game so many times. Like I said, the other one I was testing always crashed second from last level, so I played that about maybe 20 odd times to the end I had to do. Because I kept cleaning the disc, thinking that the disc was broken. Then I put it back in, and every time I wanted to test it, I had to play through the entire game. Then I take it out, and then I clean it again. So I ended up becoming basically the expert on this game to an extent, you know. Although it probably didn't show very well in the video. But
well, knowing that you couldn't shoot something from far away.
Yeah. But that last level I only played when I finally got the new copy.
True
didn't
that.